care of my inability to eat sometimes because I have had like 3 or 4 stomach surgeries over the past 4 years for issues with my small intestine. Some other stuff went wrong with me, but I didn't even have to take the opiates that they tried to give me in the hospital because I was able to use my medical marijuana. And not in the hospital. They still had me taking that the big stuff in the hospital. But the stuff they sent me home with, I flushed it because I would rather just take my medical marijuana. I know Kanye has got to be going through the worst feelings in his life. I don't even begin to try to explain to y'all what he might be going through, and with everybody watching and commenting and making all these. I know it's newsworthy, but what you don't understand is your newsworthy is, boy, that shit can destroy you. Because I don't even like it when I hear my friends and families talk about me when it comes to my medical condition. That shit hurt my heart to a core for which I can't even begin to explain. So I can even imagine what this man is going through. After watching his documentary, the first thing that really made me, feel some type of way is knowing that his mother had passed away before I even watched it, and then to see the connection he had with his mother. His connection with his mother was super close. Like, that was, when I say best friend, that was best friend type shit. And I was close to my mama, but nowhere near as close as they were. Like, his mama knew his damn raps. Like, that tripped me out. So I can only imagine when she died out of nowhere, it's like you can't, it's like you can't connect it. Like, it don't make sense to you. You are trying to make sense of some shit that not only hurts you to the core of the every ounce of your being, but it also hurts you because you can't make the dots connect. She went in for surgery, for plastic surgery or whatever surgery that was, not needed really, but ended up dead from this. Like, she was a regular procedure that you would consider a regular procedure, and next thing you know, his best friend, his ace coon boon, his mama, his everything is just gone. When I tell you about my break when my mama died, I can only come to tears when I think about the break he must have experienced when his mama died. And then there's a session in there where they was like, he's working and he's working and he's working. They keep telling him he needs time to grieve. He needs time to grieve. You want to grieve, but the pain from that grief hurt so bad, you run from it. That's all he was doing. He's running from that pain. And again, I never met the man. I'm talking about from my own experience. You would do anything in the world to run from that pain. I would listen to music all day. I don't turn off my TV because I got to have something going at all times so that my head does not get quiet. Another reason, I don't want them damn medications. They make your brain just get quiet. And when your brain get quiet, when the madness goes silent, that's when the thoughts are just there. Because you on medication, the thoughts are not as bad. They don't make you hurt or make you respond to them as emotionally as you would if you weren't on the meds. But they there. So when you come off the meds, they flush you. You don't forget them. They flush you. So that's why you got to keep taking the med and taking the med. And then you got to keep feeling nauseated or feeling like the world is moving and you're not. And then they have this new thing. I don't know if y'all ever even seen these commercials called targeted dyskinesia. These are inadvertently body movements that your face and your neck and your arms make because of what the meds, the psych meds, are doing to you. So like, you'll be standing there talking to somebody and your lip will start jumping or your eyes start twitching, or you'll be like looking like you about to have an attack, and then you'll just stop. People think you got Tourette or some shit. Like, it's There's nothing you can do about these inadvertently moves in your face and your body. And then they got a medication for that. So now on top of the 5 medications they already done prescribed you, they gotta now add another medication so your ass can stop looking like you trying to do a dance or something out of nowhere. It's crazy. So I understand where he's coming from. Another part of that is, if you look at his documentary, you will see his mama was all he had. That was his world. And then now let's fast forward to his situation now. He's losing his wife, his 4 kids. That was his family for years. His kids. Come on now. Even without having a psychiatric episode, mamas, daddies, come on. Y'all know how y'all would feel if somebody was trying to stop you from seeing your kids. He knows something wrong with him, but them kids is his life. That's all he got. His mama is gone. He created these 4 beautiful little people that he knows is going to love him without a doubt, no matter what, for the rest of his life. And now that's in danger. I bet you that don't compare to shit about his career being in danger, his money being in danger, none of that. His kids. So I understand the fear from the families and, oh, is this safe? But there is enough money to at least try to find some kind of way to make this man be able to at least, if nothing else, be with his kids as often as he like. Leave his kids out of the conversation. You don't know his connection with him. You don't know what that's like. If you ain't in his shoes, if you ain't walked a mile in a man's shoes, it's some of the truest shit I promise you will ever hear. For you youngins that ain't never heard it, you real for the old heads that taught it to me, that was the real. And for the ones that's my age and that know of it, you know that shit is real. Until you walked a mile in another man's shoes, it's easy to point that finger. But my sister used to tell me, while you pointing that finger at that other person, you better look at where that thumb is pointing back to while you talking that shit. God don't promise tomorrow to nobody. So you don't know what could happen to you tomorrow. You don't know what your disposition can be. Thank God for those of you who are living without the media and everybody else all in your face and dealing with your mental health recovery. I feel bad for those out there, or those of you that have to deal with it, with people watching and judging you, because it's a hard thing to deal with as it is already. It gets even worse when you have to do it in the eyes of people that are constantly judging you and brick the kids. Just leave his babies out of it. I know you concerned for him. Everybody concerned for him. But believe me, that woman got enough people around her where she don't need y'all extra ass ad-libbing to help her case. It's cool. Y'all ain't doing nothing but continuing to destroy a man that's trying to find his way through probably some of the most difficult shit that he's ever been through in his life. The one thing I never wanted to be is trapped inside my head. And what's crazy is when I think about being trapped inside my head, the only thing that I ever thought of was Alzheimer's and dementia. This church I used to go to years ago, this lady who used to do an Alzheimer. I think her dad had Alzheimer's, or she was working for the Alzheimer's Foundation, and she used to talk to me about Alzheimer's and try to explain it to me. Her name was Miss Lanita. Sweetest lady. Oh my God, I loved her to death. And she would run the Alzheimer's Foundation. And after she got through explaining to me what Alzheimer's was, I could remember, and that was in my 20s, thinking, damn, I don't never want to be trapped inside my head. Shit, I mean, I ain't got a whole lot of talents, but my brain, man, that's a pretty powerful thing. And I love the way I think. I don't want to never lose that. Not once did I ever think that I would lose it by snapping, like going outside my mind, not by not being myself anymore, by not being me. Well, it looks like that's all the time we have for today. I just felt compelled to bring this subject out because I just feel like it's a lot going on in this world already, where there's so much hatred and so much disarray in families, so much disarray in families and friends, and there's so much separation from people that it just feels like every day is something that's getting worse and worse and worse. And after watching that episode and trying to discuss it with my husband and see his response when I started talking about the medications, it just compelled me. It compelled me. Let me just put it out there. I know it's not going to change a lot of people's minds, and I know a lot of people really don't give a shit because it ain't them. I definitely get it. Whatever. But if you don't take those psych meds, or if you're not taking some medication that is altering your damn life on a level for which you never imagined in a million years that you would be at, shut the fuck up. And on top of that, don't worry about what my kids is doing. Worry about your own. Worry about your own. Leave that man alone when it comes to that, because it's just like, if he had the power to control it, what make you think he wouldn't control how he's feeling and how he's thinking if he had the power to do that? Do you think that's where he wants to be? Yeah, he's always been an arrogant ass person. He's always been, I'm the greatest. He's never not shown you who he was. The difference now is when he's showing you who he is, it's mixed with a little bit of that broke that came when he lost his mama. And it sends you into an extreme level of being broke. And it brings you a certain amount of anxiety and just pressure that comes out the wrong way sometimes. And unfortunately, that man is living his life in the media, and unfortunately, there are a bunch of judgmental, non-medication taking motherfuckers is out there that's got a whole lot to say about some shit that they don't know nothing about. You try taking about 6 or 7 of them meds at the same time, gain you about 10, 15 pounds. See how easy it is for you to need to take a medication to have a normal conversation with somebody sometimes. See what it feels like when somebody's death that you love more than life is played over and over and over and over in your head. The news. Imagine the news. Some days being told to you in your head. You dream about it. You dream about that shit sometimes. Imagine waking up forgetting that your loved one that you held closest to you has passed, and for 5 seconds you try to call them. And then you have to relive the fact that they dead all over again. It brings emotions in you that you don't even know exist. So if you haven't been there, I'm expressing this with a full extent of I have been there. If you haven't been there, think twice about the shit you got to say about somebody that is there or has been there. Think. We gotta love each other a little bit better. We gotta understand people just a little bit better. And I'm not asking you to pretend to know it all. I'm not asking you to pretend that it's okay with you, with what's going on. What I'm asking you is understand that you have no idea what that next man is going through. So before you speak on his kids, on his family, on his situation, on his life, unless you've taken all 6, 7, 10, however many medications he take, Unless you've taken all of them and felt them feelings that he's feeling and going through what he's going through, ease up. Be easy. This has been EJ.